name is Barbara Graham. I'm doing my general education speech today. First, we'll be discussing interpersonal relationships. Interpersonal relationships is a strong bond between two or more people. These relationships can be between a man, a woman, friend, and family. Interpersonal relationships between a man and woman. Interpersonal relationships between a man and woman are built around commitment, attraction, and trust. George Washington's rules that I feel apply most to interpersonal relationships and between a man and woman would be rules 7, 49, 70, 73. Rules 49 discuss appropriate language. Why I felt as if this is relevant to interpersonal relationships between a man and woman is because you have to talk to a person in a certain way. You can't use negative language when you talk to a spouse or a lover because in the end of someone's feelings is going to be hurt. That would be more than likely they will get offended. Rule 73 describes how a person should think before he or she speaks. You should always think before you speak. You never know how what you can say could affect people or even the surroundings around you. Rule 7 discusses how no one should judge or try to correct the impression of another person. And if anyone should do this, it should be family. In a relationship or a marriage, it's difficult not to judge the things that your partner does because they are different than your ways of thinking. You have to be willing to accept their differences in any ways that you will be comfortable to both you. Another thing would be to not be too quick to judge. Just because their past or present imperfections aren't justifiable to yours, it doesn't mean you have the right to judge. The last rule that I will be covering in this concern to preparation relationships between a man and a woman is Rule 7. Rule 7 discusses the wardrobe of a person when they depart from their home environment. The rule states that no person should go out of their chamber half dressed, and why I feel like this rule is relevant to a relationship because a woman should have enough respect for her partner to come out in the public properly dressed. Interpersonal relationships between friends. The next interpersonal relationship that I will be discussing is between friends. A real friendship is built on a great deal of trust. A friend is someone who you can depend on when times are hard and who you can share your deepest thoughts. The rule that applies to the interpersonal relationship between friends are rules 49 and 73. As I stated before in Rule 49, discuss the language that should be used between people in a conversation. In a friendship, there are certain types of conversation that you cannot address. There are also certain types of languages that you have to use when conversating with a friend. Although you are comfortable in that friendship, you should bring yourself to feel as if it's okay not to down talk a friend. Rule 73 is somewhat similar to Rule 49 when discussing personal relationship between friends. As I stated, it is okay to feel comfortable around a friend because it will be the true definition of a friendship, but you must also be watchful of what you say. You never know what may offend or hurt your friend, and this type of action could quickly lead to an end of a special or long-term friendship. Interpersonal relationships between family. Lastly, I would like to discuss the interpersonal relationship between family. Although family members are expected to be strong bond and feeling towards each other, this is not always the case. To have a special bondage, there must be a sense of commitment, caring, and trust. If you are not committed to a family, then that family won't have a bondage. The main purpose of having a family is to have someone there who you know will always care. There must always be trust within the family. If you cannot trust your family, who can you trust? The rule that I will apply to interpersonal relationships between family will be rule number 22 and 81. Rule 22 discusses how a person should not be glad at the misfortune of others. Speaking from experience, you have some family members who love you to death, but won't often be happy upon your misfortunes. These feelings often come from the family members wanting the person to be on the same level as they are on. Rule 81 to describe how a person shouldn't be concerned with the affairs of others. Now we all know that we have that one person in our family who loves to stay in your personal business. And when you're in a relationship or marriage, you do not need a third wheel because the third wheel will eventually lead to no wheels. This is the end of my speech. Hope you enjoy.